Hey guys, Equinox here, and this is going to be kind of a update video on tanks in general and 10.2 and the season coming up. Overall, I think tank balance is actually pretty good right now. Everything's pretty even, survivability wise, damage wise. I think a couple specs are behind, namely Bear Druid. I don't know about Prot Warrior, and DK is a little behind, but they have the legendary factor. DK is really good single target in a raid, pretty insane damage in raid, but at M plus, I don't think you can get the same damage in higher keys unless you're playing like a really offensive build, and you'll probably just kill one shot if you play an offensive build. Legendary factor will change that, and obviously in like medium to low key or like medium to semi high keys, you can just play a damage build and just do as much as you want because things aren't going to threaten to one shot you. But overall, I think tanks are in a good spot. There's a couple dungeons where Vengeance and Prop Pally utility are a little too strong. Throne of Tides, Everbloom are the two main ones. There's just too many casters in there, way too many chain casts, way too many deadly casts. It's just too much. You can't really do much about it either because it's the way the dungeons are designed. Vengeance and Prop Pally just take advantage of those way too easily. And I don't think it should change. I think that's their niche. I think the dungeon design just needs to be tuned around the fact that they have that utility and the fact that other tanks can't really do anything about it, and group comps can't really do anything about it unless you play with those specs. So as long as they rein those casters in, I think it'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. This is just the first iteration of the dungeon tuning, so we'll see it change throughout the season. But yeah, overall, even with that in mind, Brew's doing pretty good. I tested it quite a bit this weekend. I've been running a different build. So I've been running Special Delivery Weapons of Order, and this is the whole build. I run Diffuse in almost every dungeon over Eulons. There's just a lot of situations where Diffuse comes in handy and is very good. Not the Reflect, but just the DR itself is a bit better than the passive DR. A Dampen is still pretty much useless. The only dungeon I would maybe take this in is Dawn of the Infinites, Murazon's Rise. This is the upper one with Corona Lord Deos. It's very good on that fight because the breath hits way too hard and it's just a disgusting ability. So, yeah. If you have Dampen and Diffuse, the fight's pretty easy. If you do not have Dampen or Diffuse, the fight is extremely hard. So, highly recommend just taking both of these in that one specific dungeon. Every other dungeon, you can run Dance at the Wind. The reason I've been going Special Delivery is simply just that it's much easier to play packs with. It does pretty high damage if you play it correctly. The slow's really nice, especially for fixate mobs like the dogs and Throne of Tides. Yeah, just overall pretty good. Good damage. This is a Fort Week thing. On Tyrannical Week, you'd be running this. Rushing Jade Wind, because it's just better on Tyrannical. It's better on single target fights. Special Delivery on Fort, I think, is more than sufficient enough, and it feels pretty good. We're back to Weapons of Order, mostly being because Press the Advantage and Blackout combo has a very annoying bug that actually hurts our single target quite a bit. So what the bug is when you get 10 stacks of Press the Advantage, and then you press Blackout Kick, you want to get a Blackout combo for your Press the Advantage Rising Sun Kick, right? Because Press the Advantage on your 10 stacks, it consumes bonuses that affect your Tiger Palm at reduced effectiveness. So Counter Strike, Blackout combo. So you want them to be, consumed. But right now, with PTA and Blackout combo specifically, if you have Blackout combo, it just bricks. Sometimes it just doesn't consume either Counter-Strike or Blackout combo. If you do not have Blackout combo, it always consumes Counter-Strike and works fine. But with Blackout combo, it sometimes consumes neither and does pretty much the same damage as just a normal Rising Sun Kick. So, until they fix that, probably won't be running PTA. I think PTA is still competitive on Fort Weeks. But overall, min-maxing wise, Weapons of Order is just better. You get pretty much the same damage throughout the dungeon, and a lot more single target. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Bob and Weave, Black Ox Brew, same thing as always, personal preference. Trinket wise, we're still running Prophetic Stone Scales, and then the Augury is what we're probably going to run ideally. So it's going to be a Augury or Ferox. Either one of these two is good. Very strong. But overall, Brew feels good. I would honestly rate it right below. I would put Prop Pally Vengeance at S tier and Brew like A tier. If they ever nerf the casters, I think Brew's extremely good. Their damage is absolutely crazy. Even without Aug Evoker, their damage is crazy, especially if you play it right and are kind of used to it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking pretty much forward to the season. We'll see if they do any dungeon tuning. The only thing that I do wish, Blizzard, if you ever watch this, change our 4-piece. Our 4-piece is extremely underwhelming. So the reason this is underwhelming is the proc for it the proc for Shadow Flame damage that goes into our 4 set is a chance. If you change this from a chance to 100%, this automatically becomes a strong 4-piece. Because one, you can actually hit like the cap of your shield pretty regularly, which is what you want. You want to hit like your max HP shield, because the way the 4-piece works is it absorbs damage that you would have staggered, and that takes like that's a lot of damage. Like if you go into a key, you have like a 500k absorb, you're tanking 10 mobs, the thing is gone instantly. Like it's really not that as much as people think. Like, so being able to get that on more Celestial Brews instead of just like really big ones where you don't press Celestial Brew for like a minute, would be nice. And also the damage of it is just underwhelming. I can show you in this Black Arc Hold. We can do Waycrest where it's not bugged. So yeah, Charge Range 3.7% of our damage, pretty bad. It does less than Rising Sun Kick overall, and Rising Sun Kick overall is pretty underwhelming because you don't really press it that much on AoE. You can see special delivery damage is about 6%. It's not too bad. And yeah, just really needs a buff. Not only does that help the damage wise, and it'll help really a lot on single target. It'll help it'll help the Mythic Plus version, because the shield will be a lot more consistently big, and the 4-piece will feel like it actually does something. Yeah, overall, looking forward to next season. Going to be playing Brew a lot. Really excited for it. The guide will be coming out next week. Yeah, probably late next week before it goes live on the 7th. And yeah, it'll be all up to date. You guys will have everything you need to know, your BIS list, all the crafted gear, crafted priorities, embellishments, etc. Have it all updated. I am very excited to hop into the season. Like and subscribe helps me out. Have a good one.